All right, everyone. Welcome back. My name, of course, is DM Rhino, and today I'm just going to show you how to create another legacy character. Remember, if you like this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I make these videos to help out newer players and returning players. So, what are we going to make today? Well, we get our D&D Beyond, of course. If you have a Gmail account, you've got D&D Beyond. Now we're just going to go to create a character, and we want to have a look at what can we create. We're going to go to our standard. Load for us, and let's take off homebrew, click off homebrew, core rules, standard rules. Basically, we just want these three. No partner content either. Pretty much everything else is fine. We actually don't need to worry about it. Make this guy public. So let's create a wizard. Yeah, wizard. Let's go with Wex. Yeah, let's call him Wex. Okay, cool. Legacy character wizard. We pick this guy over here. Right, he looks like a wizard. We go all the way down to a wizard, basic rules 2014. We add the class, and then we go to third level. Okay, now wizard, you can see they don't get a lot back in the day because actually at the second level they got their arcane tradition. Now this did change in the 2024 rules. They only got it in the third level, but in the old rules legacy they got it at the second level. So we're going to go choose proficiencies first. We want Arcana, of course, and maybe maybe Investigation. That makes sense for Wizard. Okay, so what subclass are we going to choose? There's actually, they broke them down. You can see School of Aberration, Conjuration, Divination, all of these over here. These are all schools. And then you can see the Legacy, the expanded rules from Tasha's, right? But in the one that we did with the 2024, we did Evocation and Evoker. So let's take, you know what? Let's take Divination. Divination Wizard's always fun. So let's click Divination. And then we get our Divination Servant and we get our Portents. Well, Portents are basically T20, 2D20 rolls that you can do to replace an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check by you or a creature that you can see. So these are really cool rolls. You actually roll them before every day, and they're really fun to use as a wizard. So we've got that. That's our wizard. Let's go to our background. Let's pick a normal background for wizard. We want something that gives us a bit of thing. Maybe a sage. Does a sage give us a researcher? Yeah, we get skills of history. I think we don't get a feat here, but we do. Light would be better. We get insight and religion. Yeah, I like maybe not. What could we get? Yeah. No, in the end, I think Sage is probably going to be our best one. Yeah, Sage is probably going to be. For our skill, let's take Perception. It's always my go-to skill because there's so many perception checks in D, and it's always a fun skill to have. Languages, let's give him Celestial and Missile, right? We've got a Researcher, and then of course, we could roll for 2 traits. Roll up here, 2d20s. We got a 4. Oh, good mystery, and I speak. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Let's roll a d6. Let's actually roll 3d6s over here just to make it very simple. 3d6s. 4, 4, and 2. So, 4, 4, and 2. Okay, good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now let's go to our race. What race do we want? Well, as a wizard, we always want someone that gives us more intelligence, right? So I would always go for a good old elf. An elf, you get intelligence. If we have a look over here, a high elf. Oh, this one gives us dexterity. Dark vision's always good. Okay. Maybe not that. Maybe a gnome gives us intelligence. Tinkerer, artificer, rock gnome. Forest gnome? I doubt a forest gnome. Oh yeah, forest gnome. Yeah, forest gnome. Yeah, let's get this one because we want that 2 intelligence. We want that dark vision. We get the gnome cunning, which means we get advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. We get in dexterity. We are natural illusions. Okay, good. Yeah, let's add that. That's fun. Yeah, a forest gnome wizard. Very cool. All right, now let's roll for stats. I usually do random every single time, depending on the character. Done points to buy. We've done standard. It's time to have another roll stats. So we're going to create 3 groups again. We're going to roll. Oh, rolling in progress. So basically what they do is they roll 4d6 and you keep the highest or you get rid of your lowest 6. You can add it all there. And so far this wizard is looking pretty standard. That's pretty standard. I'm going to try and find, yeah, I think that one's going to be, yes, there we go. 9, 6, good, good, good. Okay, excellent. Let's go over here. Do the last one here. Whoop, whoop, there we go. Okay, yeah, pretty simple. Pretty simple. These are all pretty standard, yeah. Okay, so which one do I actually want? I'm kind of want number 2 because I like the 2 9s there. And it makes sense that this wizard is definitely more intelligent than strong and maybe the dexterity. I can put his constitution up and his uh, wisdom. So let's make, let's do this. Let's keep this one. Let's go intelligence. I know my dexterity is +1 because of our gnome, yeah. I'm going to make his constitution very high, also 16. And then I'm going to make his wisdom high, but he's going to have absolutely no charisma and no strength. Let's add that to. Boom, -1, strength, constitution, intelligence, wisdom. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It was very cool. Okay. Then we got to add equipment because, yeah, it's either gold or equipment. We just got to add that. And Scholar's Pack. Standard stuff for adding equipment, of course. You can add gold depending on your DM if they want you to buy stuff, but most of the time, like, it's just easier to add the equipment because then you have everything. And then we go to view character sheet. Have a look. There we go. There we go. So we've got a -1 on strength and charisma, makes sense, but I've got lots in intelligence, wisdom, and dexterity, and same with constitution. And you can see my armor is 13, my +5 initiative. I only walk 25 feet because of gnome, that's fine. But that's all good. Now we got to try and pick our spells. You can see that we haven't got a lot of spells. I think we only have minor illusion being as a forest gnome. So let's pick some cantrips for our divination wizard. Let's go for our cantrips first. Oh, there's so many of them. Yeah. So which one do we want first? As a good cantrip, I usually pick, we can pick 3, right? I usually pick utility, utility cantrip, offensive, and defensive. Those are usually the go-tos. You always want like at least one of those things. Since I can see dark vision, I'm not going to pick light. I'm going to pick mage hand, always standard for wizards. Let's pick a defensive one. Blade ward, pretty good defensively if I remember correctly. If we go here, you extend your army trace, you gain resistance to bludgeoning. Yes, that's always good. So blade ward, and it's not concentration. Let's pick a good old wizard cantrip. Not strong. Maybe ray of frost. Always good because ray of frost, if I remember, it reduces their speed by 10 feet on a hit, which is good. Yeah. So good. Defensive, offensive, utilitarian. Excellent. Okay. Now, of course, we got to add our spells. We got to learn some spells. Now we only have 7 we can prepare because it does go up, but of course we only have 7, and we can see our spell slots on here. 2, 4. So let's have a look here. You can see that level 2 spells, there's a lot of concentration spells, but I think the best one to pick, of course, is going to be our Misty Step, which is a bonus action teleportation. Then, because we're a wizard, we want something to help us out during battle. So we get picked 7 of these, right? Yes, 7 of them. Sure. Let's pick Mirror Image. Again, not concentration spells. These are really good. And let's pick a good old where's a good old, where did I see it over here? Oh, there. Mind Spike. Yeah, Mind Spike is also a really good spell. Uh, and reach one creature you can see within range. The target must make a Wisdom saving throw, which is our DC, or take 3d8 psychic damage on a fail. So it's all really good over here, right? You can also see if they're hidden. So yeah, again, and you can keep on casting its concentration spells. So those are our 3 level 2 spells. Now let's go to our level 1 spell. What's a good spell to get? Well, as always, Mage Hand, fantastic spell. Shield, a reaction, always good. Since we have Mirror Image, I won't pick Mage Armor. It's not going to do much to me anyway because I've got a high dex. Yeah. It does increase your dex 13. Your dexterity becomes 13 plus your dexterity modifier. I would get a higher dexterity modifier, but you know, in my opinion, if you pick Mirror Image or Mage Armor, they kind of both help in battle, so one or the other. I'm going to pick what other ones. I've got my shield. I'm going to pick Thunder Wave, just in case of those close combat ones. And let's pick maybe Grease. Grease is always a fun spell to pick as a wizard or any spellcaster. If you can pick Grease, it's always fun. So now we've got all of these things. We go down, right down here to prepared spells, spell book. There we go. So we have our spell books. Now we're going to learn all of these spells. And usually you can swap them out after a long rest or a day. You just got to speak to your DM about this because that's always something DMs discuss with wizards, right? And there, if we have a look here, you can click off of that. There are our spells: Grease, Magic Missile, Thunder Wave, and then of course we've got Magic Missile level 2, Mind Spike, and Thunder Wave level 2 because they one spells. We've got Misty Step and Mirror Image. So we have our, go back to our actions, our bonus action, Misty Step, our reaction Shield. That's always a good one. Always good to have a spell that's a bonus action and a reaction. And then, of course, we have our other Arcane Recovery, and then our Portents. We roll 2 d20s. And you can replace any attack roll, and we can use them. You can only use it once, but then we have to, I think, after a long rest. Yeah, so you can actually technically, if you're playing a long day, there are 3 long rests per day. You can roll these 3 times if you want. So if I'm rolling 2 d20s here, let's see what my portents will be. I got a 19 and an 8, which is really good. So I could use the 19 for any hit or save on my team or my party, and maybe I could use the 8 on a creature that's attacking us so it won't hit us. Yeah, so those are the powers of portents, right? And there we go. We've got our wizard all locked up there. Really cool, really fun. And that's how you make a legacy wizard with a divination. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My name, of course, is DM Rhino. I make these videos for newer players, older players, just anyone that wants to get into it. And why did I do a legacy? Because some of the adventures are still based in the legacy content. Some people just like to play legacy, you know, it's okay. You can play whatever you want. But this is how I would make a wizard or legacy. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Cheers!